Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Monday, September 27th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. And happy Victory Monday. We will talk more about the Cleveland Browns win over the Chicago Bears in just a bit. But today, let's start with talking about baseball. Today is an historic day. Our Cleveland baseball team will play its last game under its current name before transitioning to the Cleveland Guardians. And our 3 News team will be a big part of that because our very own Betsy Kling will be throwing out the first pitch at tonight's game at Progressive Field. Now, it won't be long before all of the signage changes over, all of the logos change over, and the baseball team here in Cleveland will usher in a new era as the Cleveland Guardians. And with that goodbye, we have another goodbye that we start to say today. Former Cleveland Bishop Anthony Pilla's respects final arrangements began today. That's at 3 p.m. at the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist. The Vespers beginning at 3 p.m. The wake will continue tonight through 7 p.m. and then tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. the funeral mass will take place. We have an update on former 3 News anchor Robin Swoboda. She is asking for all the prayers and good vibes that she can get after landing in the intensive care unit due to low levels of sodium. This is following her first chemotherapy treatment. She made the call out on social media on Saturday morning asking for prayers and good thoughts and positive vibes. Now, she was diagnosed in early August. She's currently undergoing her first round of chemotherapy for what doctors have told her is an aggressive form of cancer. But she wasn't without the laughs when she was letting people know that she was in the ICU. She said it was a hiccup in her first treatment, talked about the low sodium levels, and she said, "Dang, I knew I should have had a margarita." So always one to have a laugh. Also, previously when she was talking about the possibility of losing her hair, she was talking about the excitement of getting to try out new wigs. So definitely finding the silver lining in her moments. We are thinking of Robin Swoboda. If you want to know more about her current situation, you can find that at WKYC.com. Now let's take a look at our latest COVID-19 numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health. Today, we've seen 3,681 new reported COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. And right now, the total number of people who have died related to COVID-19 here in Ohio, that number at 21,820. The latest data from the Ohio Department of Health today says there are 3,734 people who are currently in the hospital being treated for COVID-19. Out of those, 999 of them are being treated in an intensive care unit. Now, Playhouse Square is preparing for performances to come back, and it's got new protocols in place for its run of The Lion King coming back into town related to COVID-19. So here's what you can expect if you will be catching a showing of The Lion King at Playhouse Square. Everyone will have to wear a mask inside. That is absolutely everyone, regardless of vaccination status. And people who come will have to either show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test at the time that they get into the theater with their ticket. Playhouse Square said that you can do that on paper or on a smartphone. So a photo of some sort will suffice in order for your proof to get in to see The Lion King at Playhouse Square. Speaking of other performances, we will be remembering a Cleveland icon, Michael Stanley, with a concert at the MGM Northfield Park. That'll be in December. The concert is called Among My Friends Again, and it will feature songs from the 5 decades of the Michael Stanley performances, from his early beginnings of the Michael Stanley Band to the Resonators. The musical Legacy of Michael Stanley event will take place on Friday, December 3rd. That'll start at 8 p.m. again at MGM Northfield Park's center stage. It will feature members of the Resonators along with special guest Jonah Coslin. So those tickets go on sale this Friday, October 1st at 10 a.m. We have the link if you want to get in on that at WKYC.com. Organizers say a portion of every ticket sale will be donated to the newly formed 10,000 Watts of Holy Light Fund of the Cleveland Foundation. This group identifies Cleveland-centric organizations and dedicates annual donations as part of their mission. Now, speaking of performances, let's talk a little bit about the Cleveland Browns' 26-6 win over the Chicago Bears on Sunday. It was definitely the battle of the field goals, mostly field goals, getting that score up there. And it started a little rough, but they figured it out in the end. So our Dave, Dino, DiNatale, and Jay Crawford break it down on their weekly show, The Fifth Quarter, talking all about it. They talk about that opening drive. This is their opening drive. They talk about the quick reaction to the Browns win, what stood out the most, and you can bet that Myles Garrett's record-setting performance definitely will be a part of that show. He had 4.5 sacks in a single game. That's a record for the Cleveland Browns franchise. Myles Garrett looking good. They're also going to talk about the key takeaways from Sunday's win and what the Browns are doing that can help them achieve continued success. Take a look at the turnovers, because that did happen, and then some notable key players and fun stats, and a Browns rookie who is impressing early on in his career. I would be willing to bet they're talking about Demetric Felton Jr. because he's had some big plays over the past 2 weeks. It's been nice to see. And then you'll see Dino and Jay talk about thoughts on the AFC North if we're looking at the decline of Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh. What do we make of the Ravens win in Detroit? And Jay and Dino also take a look ahead at the Browns game against the Vikings next Sunday. That's on the road. Definitely a tougher opponent for them, so we will be looking forward to see what happens there. But as it stands right now, the Cleveland Browns record is now 2-1 starting off this 2021 season. Hard to believe that there have already been 3 football games over the past 2 weeks. It's just, time is flying. We needed to slow down a little bit during football season. Baker Mayfield, after the game in the post-game press conference, was entertaining reporters again and making good on his bet with the quarterback room from last season. He dropped Kanye West references in his answers at this post-game press conference. Now, he did that a lot last year with different things. It seemed to be a different theme every time. So here's what he said this time when he was talking about the win. He said, it felt good, obviously, losing a guy like Jarvis, one of our key skill players. You have to have people step up. We were blessed to have the late registration of Odell coming in and play for us. So Late Registration, that's an album by Kanye West. Some of the other albums that he tossed out there, The College Dropout, Graduation, and The Life of Pablo. If you want to see that, you can see those references on WKYC.com. Now, as a reminder, he was doing this last season, dropping in these pop culture references. He says that there's a thing going on in the quarterback room that he's got to slide in a certain quote, or there's a fine. So he has to pay a fine if he doesn't. We don't know what that fine is. I wonder what that fine looks like. But whatever it is, it's making for very entertaining post-game press conferences when the Browns win, which we love all around. So keep it up. We look forward to seeing what you slide in throughout the rest of the season, hopefully for a lot more games. Now, there was some star power at Cleveland Browns at the First Energy Stadium at the game on Sunday that wasn't necessarily wearing an official Browns jersey. Avengers director Joe Russo brought some star power to the game. He's a Northeast Ohio native. He's a film director, and he was at the stadium fully decked out in Browns gear. So the team tweeted a picture of him. They said CLE Assemble with the post that they put with his photo. They said Cleveland native and director Joe Russo is in the building for today's game. Now, if you're not familiar, Russo and his brother Anthony, they are Hollywood icons. They have put together some of Marvel's biggest hits, including Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And it was in 2013 they brought the Marvel team to Cleveland, filming parts of Captain America Winter Soldier throughout the city for several weeks. You love to see it. We definitely love to see that. I actually was just driving around in the Tremont area the other day and saw that there were some set signs out. I posted that on my Instagram page if you want to take a look at that. I love to see that there's production happening here in Cleveland. And if you didn't know, that's what those yellow signs mean. They say set and they have directions. For people, that means that it's part of a working set, and those are directions for the cast and the crew and the people who need to know what's going on to get where they need to go. So if you see those now, if you didn't know before, now you'll know what those are. And speaking of star power, Saturday Night Live is coming back with all but one incumbent cast member. Now, there were some questions around who might leave, who might stay. Now we know that Beck Bennett, the person who impersonated former Vice President Mike Pence and also a buff version of Russia's leader Vladimir Putin, he won't be coming back for the new season. This will be the 47th year, and that's coming up this weekend. That'll be Saturday night, that debut. So some of the people that had been talked about to maybe not return: Adie Bryant, Kate McKinnon, Cecily Strong, Kenan Thompson, and Pete Davidson, all very busy, all likelihood that they may have not come back, but they are coming back, and it's Beck Bennett who won't be returning. Now, that's because the show's executive producer, Lorne Michaels, He likes to keep a little aura of mystery around the cast, so we don't know until, we're a couple days out from the premiere of the 47th season, but he has taken a different approach than he has in the past. Before, you would require a 100% commitment to the season, but now he's been a little bit more flexible on the show and hasn't demanded that full-time commitment. He's giving people the time off they need in order to do other projects so that they continue to grow and then also can continue to be on SNL. For example, McKinnon is producing and starring in the upcoming Peacock series Joe Exotic, and Thompson's NBC sitcom Keenan, that's having a second season as well this year. Looking forward to that premiere. That's happening on Saturday. Make sure you check that out. You can watch that, of course, on NBC. On NBC3 right here in Cleveland. That's it for your 3 News Now update today for Monday, September 27th on this Victory Monday. Everyone have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.